Hey everybody. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the SC600 PC cooling water pump. This pump goes on eBay for around $20 to $25 or so, somewhere around that area. There are a few different flavors of this pump. I think there's the SC600, and I think there's also an SC1000, which is a more beefier, higher output version of this pump. So when I did the hardware upgrade to the Untitled Lux back in late December last year, 2017, I decided to replace the water pump because the water pump that was on here was the one that came with this water cooling kit that I harvested out of a parts system back in, I think it was 2010? Yeah, 2010 or 2011, one of those years. Yeah, it was 2011 actually. And at that point, it was already used quite a bit. The fan that came with the radiator was seized up solid. I did manage to free it up, but yeah, it was seized up. And there was no telling how many hours the existing P400 Thermaltake water pump had on it. But I used it anyway, and it ran for all these years. I mean, 6 years of service from 2011 to 2017. By the end of that time, it was sounding a little rough, so I decided to go ahead and swap it out. And I want to keep this Thermaltake reservoir because I think it's perfect for this little setup I have here. Probably wouldn't have in hindsight if I had known about the leak that was on the side of it, but yeah, I was able to fix that, no problem. But so I needed to find a pump that would be very close to, if not perfectly fitting, what I had already in place, which was the Thermaltake P400 water pump. So I decided to give this little guy here a try. Again, the SC600. I think I paid $20-something, I think, including shipping. It may have had free shipping, something like that. But yeah, first thing I noticed was the fittings that came with the P400 were not exactly perfect of a fit for this. This fitting here is much too deep than the original, so instead of being able to thread it all the way down to where the black O-ring was, I had to instead use pipe tape on the fittings, on the threads, pipe thread tape, or Teflon tape as you want to call it. Had to use some there, and I had to use some there. And I was a little concerned about how that would actually work out, but it worked out just perfectly fine. Had no leaks at all from either of these fittings. So, if you're not aware, the Untitled Lux, it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I guess you could say 365 days a year minus any time that we have power outage, which with Energy United, those are actually pretty rare. So this thing runs practically all the freaking time. This pump has ran pretty much constantly since New Year's Day, since I installed it. Or, since I finished the upgrade on the system. And I'd say for the most part, this has been a very dependable pump. Now, back in March, I did have some concern about it. I was concerned that it wasn't going to last long. The reason why was the pump was starting to make some sounds I didn't particularly like. It was starting to make a more of a chattery sound. And if you actually blocked off flow for a moment, it would actually, it would actually soften up the sound just a little bit, but once you let off and let the flow go again, it would just come right back. I'm thinking now is actually the pump breaking in or wearing in, because ever since, I'd say early April, in the March or early April, sometime around then, the noise went away and this thing sounds like it did brand new. So yeah, the thing sounded perfect throughout January, throughout February, but into March it made kind of a noise, kind of a chatter. And again, the noise I just mentioned of. I don't personally have any video on hand. I don't think I recorded any video of it actually making the noise, but again, I think it was just the pump wearing in, and because after that it's just been running perfectly, just fine. I'd say for a $20-something pump, it's not a bad deal at all. It's pretty robust, I think, in my opinion. It's got a little bit of heft to it as far as weight. And I did see some videos somewhere, I forget exactly where I saw it, somewhere on YouTube, where a guy opened this thing up. I mean, it's just 4 screws. These 4 screws on the front, you take those out, and the whole thing just opens up because you can see there's bolts in the back there. The camera will focus in on them. But the whole thing comes off. You have the motor on the back, which the motor had some pretty hefty windings on it. It's just your typical brushless motor that you would find on a pump like this. And at least from what I've seen, it was a pretty decent built pump. Now, for what I read online on some reviews, because these are for sale on Amazon as well, some people had complained about them failing after 6 months. Well, here it is, 6 months. It is June 2nd. This machine went into service with its current configuration around January 1st. So it's been 6 months, and it's running just fine. And of course, if I have any issues out of it, I will post update videos whenever I can. But yeah, this I think, aside from the issue that we had with the noise, really it was just a noise issue, because the pump actually never quit working. It was still pumping just fine. It didn't slow it down or anything like that. It was still pumping. So other than the noise issue it had, I guess as part of its break-in, it's been very reliable. So do I recommend using this pump? Now, personally, I would recommend that if you are willing to spend more money on a water pump, do it. Just do it. But if you're willing to save some money, I think this here would make a decent little pump for you. A lot of people recommend using these as backups. Now, I'm using this as my primary. I decided to take the chance with it, and so far it seems to be working just fine. So yeah, guys, that is my opinions on the SC600 water pump after 6 months of use. I think it's a great little pump, at least for $20-something anyway. Of course, I forgot to mention this. It actually plugs right into the motherboard with a standard 3-pin connector. I have it plugged into a specific port on the motherboard that's for the water pump. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, I sure hope you guys enjoyed this video from Q Computer Channel. Remember to like the video, subscribe to Q Computer Channel for more updates, and remember to tick the bell so that you actually get notified of these updates. Did you know that I am also on a second channel that's CubeComp MTDX? Over there you'll find videos of bicycling, weather, elevators, and all sorts of other neat and interesting stuff. Feel free to subscribe to that channel as well. And again, I thank you for your support, and thanks for watching this video.